Good evening, everyone. I just saw a video by Pastor Abel Damina. He asked the fake ex-Muslim, because it is getting clearer by the day that this guy was never a Muslim in the real sense. And why do I say this? He said that Dr. Abel asked him that, or Pastor Abel asked him that, why is it that women don't amount to anything in Islam? Firstly, that was the first question. That, as we will see eventually, because I'm going to bring out some things from the Quran and also from the Bible itself. Then the man said that yes, that Muslims, they share women. Subhanallah, amma yushrikun. Pastor Babima, you are interviewing a fake ex-Muslim, because in Islam you cannot share women. You cannot share women. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about women, He said, "Fankihuhunna bi-idhni ahlihinna." If you want to marry women, you marry them by seeking the permission of their family, especially the father. So you can't marry a woman without the permission of her father. That is Islam. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasized it. He said that وَآتُوهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ مُحْصَنَاتٍ غَيْرَ مُسَافِحَاتٍ وَلَا مُتَّخِذَاتِ أَخْدَانٍ. Marry women when after getting married to them, pay them their bride price. Yes, you must give them their bride price. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَآتُوا النِّسَاءَ صَدُقَاتِهِنَّ نِحْلَةً. Give women their bride price as a gift, even before you consummate the marriage. But you can have a promise that I'm going to give you consummate the marriage, then you pay afterwards. But there must be an agreement on a bride price. So you can't marry a woman in Islam just like that, and you start sharing. Perhaps he was talking about his tribe and not Islam. This man was most likely talking about his own cultural practice, not Islam. You can't share women in Islam. There's nothing like they share women in Islam, So, and he wanted to quote a verse to back up his first claim. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Al-Rijalu qawwamuna ala nisa, that men are, the controller of women, like as though they are like a master-slave relationship. That is not the meaning of that verse. Al-Rijalu qawwamuna ala nisa. Men are the custodians, the manager, the head of women in a marital relationship. And the same thing is there in the 1 Corinthians 11:3. I want this to get to Pastor Abel Damina, because he said in the 1 Corinthians 11:3, that I would want you to know, or I would have you know, that the man is the head of the woman, and that Christ is the head of man, and that God is the head of Christ. As against your first claim, I once saw your clip where you said that Jesus is actually God. Jesus is not God. God, according to 1 Corinthians, God is above Christ. They are not the same thing. And you try to bring philosophical arguments. He came in flesh. Jesus never told anyone that he was God in flesh. Or every manipulation you try to do, he is God with us. Every messenger sent by God, when they come with the commandment of God, they are invariably God with us, because they carry the message of God. So you see this verse of the Bible is saying exactly the same thing the 1 Corinthians was saying. And when you go forward, I think 11:9, the 1 Corinthians 11:9, he said that men were not created for women, but women were created for men. That is not even in the Quran. So, because if you want to interpret this literally, you say that it means that women were just created to be properties for men. But Islam said no. Islam said no, that women are not properties. They are human beings. And I'm asking Pastor Abel Damina this question. Give me a verse of the Bible. I don't want your philosophical argument, because you are good in playing tricks. I want a direct verse, as this verse of the Quran, where Allah said, "Man amila salihan min dhakarin aw untha." Whoever does a good deed, whether is a male or a female, a man or a woman, فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبًا. We are going to make him live a good life, that is in the hereafter. وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And we are going to give them a reward that is better than what they used to do while on the surface of the earth. I want an explicit statement like that. I've asked other Christians. None of them were able to provide an answer. So I want an answer from you. I don't want your own statement. I want a direct verse, as clear cut as this. So women are not properties in Islam. In Islam, you marry them. At the verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, He said, وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, and live with women in the best of ways. The Prophet ﷺ himself said that the best of you, خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ, the best of you are the best, are those that are best to their household, to their wives, to their children. He said, وَأَنَا خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِي, and I'm a good example for you, because I'm the best to my household, to my wives and my children. So this is it. And that is why, another question, give me a clear-cut verse in the Bible where where the Bible says that this is the share of a woman after a man dies, or after a son or a daughter dies. What is the share of women in inheritance? Explicit verse from the Bible. As for the Quran, we have the statement of Allah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لِلرِّجَالِ نَصِيبٌ مِمَّا تَرَكَ الْوَالِدَانِ وَالْأَقْرَبُونَ وَلِلنِّسَاءِ نَصِيبٌ. Men have share of what family and relatives have left behind, and also what parents, the two parents, father or mother, what they have left behind. Men have share of inheritance the same way women have share of inheritance. I want an explicit verse of the Bible like this. If all of these are not present, and then you compare Christianity with Islam in how we treat women. So I think this fake ex-Muslim is comparing his own cultural practice, is making it what's the dictate of Islam, which is unacceptable. And I think Pastor Abel, you should be wiser than this. Actually, you are an elderly person and you should be wiser than this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.